it's a huge honor and privilege to have Zeenat Aman ji here with us in Dubai. She's looking resplendent and very, very graceful. She's about to go on the red carpet of Filmfare Middle East here in Dubai. Ma'am, huge honor to have you with us on Bollywood Hungama.
Thank you so much. I'm very happy to be here with you. I still remember our interview in Goa. It was nice.
We got a great response for that, ma'am, first of all. It was hardly like a 6-minute interview, but still we got a great response. Ma'am, you mentioned yesterday that you got your first Filmfare Award 50 years back, and it's after 50 years that you're getting another award, and that to Filmfare. How special is this moment for you?
Well, honestly, it's a full circle moment, and it's very iconic because when I first started my career, I received a Filmfare Award, and now, like 50 years later, which is a whole lifetime later, I am being honored by Filmfare, of course, Middle East, but it feels absolutely wonderful and very special.
Right. Ma'am, and I must tell you that I think very, very rarely it may happen that one looks so graceful the way you are looking right now. What has been the entire process of your dignity that you've always maintained? Because you know that you ooze dignity, and I think it reflects in your entire personality. How important has that been for you, ma'am?
That's awfully kind of you to make this kind of an observation. I just am. I'm just being who I am, honestly. I don't think about what I say or do. I'm just being, honestly.
All right. And as I mentioned to you yesterday, ma'am, as well, that so I was in Egypt a few days back, and I've been in Egypt several times. And as I mentioned to you yesterday, that your songs and your films, they are still so fresh. For them, it is still like Qurbani is still as popular right now as it was maybe a few decades back. How do you look at this massive popularity that your characters, your songs, and your films enjoy in the Arab world, ma'am?
I'm just a bit amazed by that, honestly, because it's been so long. It's been so long. All these songs were in the 70s, and for them to still be alive and be appreciated, it's very heartwarming and sometimes overwhelming, because no matter where I go, people do meet me and greet me and talk about the work that I did, and it some way touches you that people still remember and they still enjoy the work that you did. Yeah.
Because like in a country like Egypt, for example, I must tell you that they still remember the Indian cinemas of late 70s and 80s generally, that ways. Because what happened around 25 years back, they banned Indian cinema. Because it was so popular that the Egyptian cinema was getting impacted because of that. So for them, that cinema of 70s and 80s, Indian cinema, it's still as if it is today.
Okay.
That's
wonderful.
Very fascinating.
That's wonderful to hear. I have wonderful memories of Egypt, doing the belly dance and singing Rakkasa, by the pyramids. So it was interesting with Mr. Bachchan in The Great Gamla.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Ma'am, you've always been this style icon. You're looking so amazing right now in this amazing dress, as I think anyone and everyone will agree. What has been this secret of you being a style icon? You've always decided your own clothes, or you had a team of it? What was it exactly?
Well, I think about 85% of the time, I had input in what I did. But, there were some wonderful designers also, like Bhanu Athaiya and Mani Rabali, who did a lot of my clothing. So it was a combination of the requirements of the script, the story, the director, my input into what suited me, and the interpretation by the person who was executing it. So it was a combination of many things, I think.
Right. And ma'am, so many of your character names, they are still so remembered. Like one thing that comes to my mind is Roma, for example, from Dawn. Mm-hmm. People still remember Roma. I'm sure that you must have been addressed as Roma many a times as well. How do you look at this phenomenon that your character names have become so huge and so big?
No, I think you're being very kind. I think Roma,
No,
because there's Dawn 1, 2, 3, and I don't know how many.
But many
characters.
Many times people still refer to your and Mr. Bachchan's Dawn.
Yes, I do know that.
So
yes.
So there is a lot of truth.
I see. As somebody who has been part of this business, it just gives any actor a sense of joy, a sense of knowing that the work or your body of work has been appreciated, which comes back to why this evening is so special for me. Because to be honored for any kind of body of work that you've done, I mean, I've played the main female protagonist in over 80 films, in my time. So to feel that there is a sense of value attached to that is not something that one was anticipating or expecting. So when it does happen, it becomes very meaningful.
Right. And then there have been so many iconic characters, like for example, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. It is a role that still resonates with people. People still. There were several characters that you played. They were not those proverbial goody characters.
Yes.
They had shades, and that made them so interesting and relatable.
Well, at that time, definitely, because there was a clear delineation between the heroine and the vamp.
Exactly.
And I played characters which were, they were grey. And there were reasons for the characters to be grey. There was a definite reason why the character turned grey. So it was a combination of the heroine and the vamp, which took place with the roles that I did. Like with Hare Rama, about the girl who ran away from home and became a drug addict. There was a reason why that happened. Or in Roti Kapda Makan, where she chose a rich man over the poor man, but in the end she sacrificed her life for that poor man.
Right.
And so many different shades in Saf Ka Tarazu, which I was nominated for the Filmfare Award. Where she actually pulled out a gun and shot somebody. And there are different shades of many films where I played the good bad girl or the bad good girl, however you want to call it.
Right. And Padmini Kulipri ji was there with you in the breakfast today.
Yes, yes. I always enjoy seeing her. I've seen her since she was a little kid in Ishq Ishq Ishq. She played one of the younger sisters, and then we did Insaf Ka Tarazu. And then, of course, we did, she played Baby Rupa in Satyam Shivam Sundaram.
Right.
So, yeah, it's always nice.
Right. And, ma'am, so many of your songs, they're huge. Something that I think a lot of people would want to know. What sort of discussions did you have with someone like, say, R.D. Burman, for example? He has given some iconic
No,
songs.
Suniye, I was never a producer or director, so I never had any say in the music that I got.
But I'm sure that you must have had
any
interactions that you may have had.
No, not really. I just lucked out. I just lucked out in getting amazing music with the projects that I was doing. Amazing songs that were picturized on me in all the films that I did, whether it was Nasir Saab's film, Yadon Ki Barat,
Amazing song.
Chura Liya, and no matter what, even Shakti Samanta and Ajnabi Hum Dono, Do Premi, Ek Ajnabi Hasina Se,
Right, my God.
In Roti Kapda Makan, Hai Hai Majboori. Of course, all the songs in Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, with Dam Maro Dam is, still alive and kicking.
Still alive and kicking.
And many songs from many films. It becomes very difficult to remember all of them now.
Right. And ma'am, say for example, Qurbani, Aap Jaisa Koi, Meri Zindagi Mein Aaye. Do you remember your interaction with Nazia Hassan?
She comes from a wonderful family, very warm and loving family. And my interaction was more with her mom than with her. And with her brother Zohair. They're just such a wonderful family. And I feel so bad that she was so talented and she went away so quickly.
Of course.
Yes.
And ma'am, so many of your songs, they don't need to be remixed. Many of your songs have been remixed. They don't need to be remixed, but still they are loved by the younger generation. I don't think many actors or actresses, they have that distinction. You have that unique distinction. And that is why I think the youngsters, they relate to you so easily. How do you look at this unique phenomenon that I'm sure that you must not have imagined? Because the songs have stood the test of time,
yes,
especially
they have
when it comes to youth.
Yes, they have stood the test of time. So I'm very grateful to that. I love it, I mean, it's, my son's generation and the generation after that as well. Yeah, so it's nice. I mean, music is universal. And it's nice that a lot of this music has stood the test of time. Yeah.
Right, of course. Ma'am, you've worked with some huge stars, but I was just thinking about someone like Shashi Kapoor. Mm-hmm. How was the experience of working with Shashi ji, for example?
Yeah, he was always very charming.
Right.
sometimes a little naughty. But you know, the thing is that when you get along with your co-stars, it makes the work environment easy.
Right.
And yeah, it was always a pleasure to work with him. He was very easy to work with.
Right, of course. And ma'am, you're looking so amazing. What can we see from you in the near future? What are the sort of projects that you're thinking of working on?
Well, let's see. You know, I did start working on a play which, you know, came to a halt with the pandemic. So we are picking up on that.
Right.
And
Saif
yes.
I know Saif. Yeah.
Yes. And yeah, it's called Dearest Bapu, Love Kasturba.
Right.
So it was quite challenging for me to be playing Kasturba.
Of course.
So I really love the fact that he thought of me. I mean, he was really thinking out of the box to cast me as Kasturba. So it was very interesting and very nice. And I really liked working with that team. And I'm doing a web series called Margaon, The Closed Files. It's a murder mystery thriller. So I play a matriarch of a Christian family.
Right.
So something or the other is happening.
Right. And ma'am, do you find this entire OTT wave fascinating, the way the content is coming out from anywhere and everywhere, and people are consuming it, like Korean content, like a Spanish content? And
I know. I watched the Squid Games. It's quite
quite
wow. Yeah, heavy duty. But yeah, no, but it's nice. And especially, I think, in India, it's giving employment to a whole lot of you know, across the board, you know, a whole lot of young people, whether it's with direction or writing or cinematography or actors, it's just giving a whole lot of people wonderful things to do and to execute.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, of course. Ma'am, I'm sure that you would be very eager to go on the red carpet now, but thank you very much for your time. I have millions of questions for you, but maybe for some other day. But thank you very much, and have a great time, ma'am.
It's my pleasure. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. You're so chivalrous. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. And happy birthday to you in advance.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
All right. That's all we have from Bollywood Hungama. Keep on watching.
Hi, this is Zeenat Aman, and you're watching Bollywood Hungama.